Part 51. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 505. The Blood Demon never expected that the blow he was determined to win would be broken by Chen Ronghuo's men in an instant. He even got trapped in the formation due to his carelessness. Tigers roar in the west, swords hang in the north, black mist comes from the south, giant figures stand proudly in the east, thunder and lightning that penetrate the sky and earth hang on the top of the sky. This is a formation that the five ancestors of the five-sect alliance jointly comprehended, which integrates trapping and killing enemies. Even though the fifth patriarch had deployed a formation when he killed the Blood Shadow clone of the Blood Demon, there was still a certain gap between the formation just now and the current one. As soon as this formation came out, even the Blood Demon frowned and showed a bit of solemnity. Of course, the most important thing is that just when the fifth patriarch used the formation to trap the Blood Demon, Chen Ronghuo had already appeared on the battlefield in a flash. Chen Ronghuo, who was wearing a black and red robe, did not appear to be very tall. He stood quietly in the field and did not seem to show much power. But as he stepped into the battlefield suddenly became quiet, like a gentle breeze, and on the vibrant prairie, an apex predator suddenly walked up. Chen Ronghuo, is he Chen Ronghuo? It seems that he does have some strength. From all directions, through various means, the cultivators watching this battle suddenly froze in their eyes when they saw Chen Ronghuo appearing. After a cultivator exceeds the 10th level, it is difficult to judge his level of cultivation through other means without taking action. But there are also some strong people who can be seen as extraordinary just by looking at them. Lord. Master. Seeing Chen Ronghuo's arrival, the three brothers Chang Soon-ping and Huang Xiaoshanyu and Big Fatty, who had not taken any action, all came over to greet him. Blood Demon, Level 14. Identity, Ancient Evil Object, NPC. Resurrection Stone, available 2 times. Secret Skills, Blood Demon Sutra, Domain of Blood, Devouring of Blood, Blood Giant. Chen Ronghuo nodded slightly to everyone, and immediately glanced at the Blood Demon trapped in the formation, identifying the attributes of the Blood Demon. Lord? Are they your men? Seeing this scene, the Blood Demon who was trapped in the formation by the fifth ancestor immediately focused his eyes and looked towards Chen Ronghuo. Only then did he know that the people who killed his 2 Blood Shadow clones this time were all Chen Ronghuo's men. His eyes were blood red, revealing a crazy killing intent. At the same time, he opened his mouth, as if he wanted to say something. You are so brave, but at this moment, Chen Ronghuo took the lead and suddenly snorted coldly, you just broke out of the seal and you dared to send 2 Blood Shadow clones to come to my behind to cause trouble. After finishing the sentence, after deciding that the Blood Demon was wrong first and that he could make his master famous, Chen Ronghuo immediately moved his figure and rushed through a secret door opened by the fifth patriarch of the Five Factions Alliance in cooperation with him. After entering the formation, he came to the Blood Demon and stood opposite him. Endless thunder flashed above the head, turning into thunder dragons and stimulating towards the Blood Demon. At the same time, there were tiger roars, thousands of blades, and other means, all attacking the Blood Demon. The Blood Demon converges his blood domain and surrounds himself, hiding or fighting. Not only does he not look embarrassed, but he also has the feeling of a master with ease. The formation laid out by the fifth ancestor is indeed powerful, but for a Blood Demon who has reached the 14th level of cultivation, it can be broken with a little effort. However, looking at Chen Ronghuo who rushed into the formation, he looked solemn and did not dare to be careless. He didn't know Chen Ronghuo. But Chen Ronghuo can recruit so many strong men as his subordinates, so his own strength is obviously not too weak. He has just broken out of the seal and does not want to capsize. I don't care about other places, but Bihai is protected by me. You massacred my people, so you can save your life today to apologize. Chen Ronghuo stood proudly in the void inside the formation, and he also seemed to be surrounded by a master's aura. After he plainly stated the reason why he was besieging the blood demon this time, he stretched out his body, and after a few minutes, he faintly grew bigger. He raised his arm, pierced the air with one claw, and grabbed the blood demon who had just avoided a thunder dragon. Past. Return to 1. Demonic power. The bulging muscles on Chen Ronghuo's arms were like rolling mountains. After grabbing them with his big hand, he directly brought up the endless wind and appeared in front of the blood demon, extremely powerful. Boom! The blood demon's anger appeared, and he exploded with all his strength, erupting into a large ball of blood light. Then in the blood light, he actually found a devil's claw lingering in endless blood, and with a bang, it collided with Chen Ronghuo's big hand. Together. After his cultivation reached the 12th level, Chen Ronghuo's power became extremely huge. But at this moment, facing the blood demon whose cultivation level was as high as the 14th level, facing the blood demon's head-on claw, Chen Ronghuo still felt his body shake. He fell backward a long distance. After the first blow, the blood demon just shook his body and summoned a large amount of blood light, turning it into a sky-high blood curtain, blocking the large pieces of sword light, thunder, and lightning and other attacks directed at him. Is this your strength? Do you think you can defeat me with this strength? After doing this, the blood demon snorted coldly and looked straight at Chen Ronghuo. It's so strong. This blow is probably stronger than the full blow of most 13th level practitioners, right? It is indeed very strong. He has such strength and is indeed proud of himself. When facing him this time, he is facing a blood demon. Seeing the performance of the two after the attack, the ancient evil beings who were watching the battle were slightly shocked in their hearts. Chen Ronghuo's newly revealed strength has already reached the 13th level. The good thing is that although Chen Ronghuo is powerful, Chen Ronghuo's opponent, the blood demon, is even more powerful. But what they didn't know was that at this moment, Gong Yangtian, who was watching the battle from a distance on Aurora King Island, felt a slight movement in his heart. I remember that the last time he fought against the Lord of the Killing Temple, whose strength had not fully recovered, he seemed to be at a slight disadvantage. In the end, he relied on the magic of the talisman array to stop the Lord of the Killing Temple. Gong Yangtian's eyebrows were furrowed so tightly that he could almost kill a mosquito. But the strength he shows now, even if he doesn't use the magic of talisman formation, is not inferior to the master of the Temple of Slaughter back then. Thinking of this, Gong Yangtian's face showed a hint of weirdness. No wonder this one, there will be titles like Madman with Hidden Strength. But this time, the strength he showed is inferior to that of a 14th level cultivator. He shouldn't be able to hide it anymore, right? Gong Yangtian's eyes fell through the void and fell on Chen Ronghuo and Gorfiend from afar, paying attention to the battle between the two. It's too early for you to be proud. After Chen Ronghuo was frustrated by the attack, he said a few words, then waved his hand and used the magic of talisman formation. Using countless talismans, he summoned a huge disaster clone with 9 heads, thousands arms and countless eyes, allowing it to carry a monstrous force. He pressed hard against the blood demon. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 506. As soon as the avatar of disaster appeared, the blood demon sensed the threat. He frowned, not expecting Chen Ronghuo to have such a talisman array technique. After his cultivation level was raised to the 12th level, Chen Ronghuo had a deeper understanding of the law, and the talismans he carved were naturally even better. Therefore, the avatar of disaster he summoned through the talisman array technique this time was also stronger than the last time he faced the Lord of the Slaughter God Temple. Swallow. With his mind moving, the blood demon raised his hand and immediately raised a monstrous blood cloud, which became a tornado, creating a terrifying suction force and swallowed the avatar of disaster. The avatar of disaster is condensed by countless special energies and law forces. Under the control of Chen Ronghuo, these energies and law forces cannot be seen from the surface. Therefore, the blood demon did not know that the avatar of disaster created by Chen Ronghuo was condensed by the three laws of the law of calamity, the law of disaster, and the law of curse. Boom! As the tornado blood cloud gave out a powerful swallowing force, Chen Ronghuo's mind moved, and he did not stop it. Instead, with a bang, he let the disaster clone he had just summoned explode. As the disaster clone exploded, the law of calamity, the law of disaster, and the power of the curse law that emerged from its exploded body suddenly surged uncontrollably into the blood cloud vortex created by the blood demon. And after pouring into the blood cloud vortex, these law powers then poured into the blood demon's body like maggots on the tarsal bones. The blood demon has lived for countless years and has rich combat experience. Although he did not recognize what the disaster clone summoned by Chen Ronghuo was at first, as the power of the three laws rushed into his body, his face immediately changed, knowing that something was wrong. But although he reacted, it was still a little late. The three forces eroded him in his body, so that he had to divide a part of his power to fight against these three forces. Boom boom boom. When the blood demon divided his strength to fight against the three forces of law that flowed into his body, Chen Ronghuo stretched out his body and grabbed the blood demon with his claws. Good trick. The blood demon gritted his teeth and had to be led by Chen Ronghuo. He stretched out his blood claws and fought fiercely with Chen Ronghuo. But this time, every attack of the two was evenly matched, and there was no winner. Of course, the reason for this was that the blood demon also had the 5 ancestors of the 5-sex alliance, who used formations to contain him. As for the 3 brothers Chang Soonping, as well as Huang Xiaoshan, Yu Depeng and others, they seemed to be on guard against other people coming. They did not take action, but just guarded nearby. Resurrection add 1. Blood origin power add 1. NPC attributes add 1. In the fierce battle, Chen Ronghuo used his left hand, and again, he found many attributes from the blood demon. However, in order to prevent the blood demon from finding anything unusual, he would return each attribute he took out from the blood demon the next time he used his left hand to attack. Of course, if possible, he would also try to take out some other attributes from the blood demon when returning the attributes. At the same time, as the battle between Chen Ronghuo and the blood demon progressed, the strong men who watched the battle began to discuss it. What happened just now? Why do I feel that after the 9-headed, 1,000-armed phantom summoned by Chen Ronghuo was destroyed by the blood demon's strength suddenly became much weaker. The blood demon was fooled. Chen Ronghuo practiced the curse law and the disaster law. There seems to be another mysterious law. He used these laws to create a phantom clone. Whoever blows up the clone will be cursed. That's right. But even if the blood demon is not fooled, Chen Ronghuo can also greatly enhance his own strength by controlling the clone. Awesome, I really didn't expect that Chen Ronghuo could tie with the blood demon. Tie? Not necessarily. If Chen Ronghuo didn't have the help of those men and set up a formation to trap the blood demon, Chen Ronghuo would probably not be the opponent of the blood demon. And even now, it's still unknown who will win in the end. Level 14. Aurora King Island, Gong Yangtian, who was watching this battle from afar, shook his head and smiled bitterly. He never thought that Chen Ronghuo was so powerful. In terms of cultivation alone, Chen Ronghuo may be weaker, but if he adds the talisman array technique, even without the assistance of his subordinates, Chen Ronghuo may be able to fight against a weaker 14th level strongman. He is really a demon who hides his strength. You said you have such strength, why didn't you leave the Lord of the Slaughter God Temple last time? Gong Yangtian was speechless. As for Chen Ronghuo's cultivation level being greatly improved in just 1 year, even if Chen Ronghuo walked up to him and told him in person, he would not believe it. How is this possible? And it may be easier to improve cultivation, but the improvement of the talisman array technique is definitely not something that can be done in just 1 year. My lord, there seems to be a big war happening in the continent of gods. At the same time, in a hall in the land of sealed demons, the mother snake of Jiatuo, the masters of the 2 sects, 3 leaders and 4 halls, stood in front of the lord of the black demon, all showing respect. Because the gates of the black demon star in the sealed demon land were all open, the entire sealed demon land seemed to have been baptized and truly turned into a world. And the barrier of this world was extremely strong. At this time, even the lord of the black demon could hardly penetrate the barrier between the 2 worlds and perceive what was happening in the continent of the gods. I know. The lord of the dark devil sat on the main seat, his face gloomy. Don't worry about anything else now, just follow my instructions and recover your strength as soon as possible. When your strength is restored to the half-step pillar god, it will be time for us to take over the world of the gods. While saying these words, the black air around him suddenly rose. Sensing this scene, his face sank, and he quickly used his power, as if he was forcibly expelling something from his body. Master! Seeing this scene, the hearts of Jiatuo Snake Mother and others sank. Don't worry. The Lord of the Dark Devil waved his hand. This time, the gods released the power of the origin of the Dark Devil Star, allowing us to speed up our cultivation, and at the same time leaving the seeds of puppets in our bodies. I had expected it a long time ago. It's just that they want me to be their puppet, but it's not so easy. After hearing the words of the Lord of the Dark Devil, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Their lives are all connected with the Lord of the Dark Devil. Once the Lord of the Dark Devil has an accident, they will all be in trouble. At this time, the fierce battle on the North Sea is still going on. Chen Ronghuo suddenly showed a strength that was only slightly weaker than the blood demon, which shocked everyone. Especially those strong men who had seen Chen Ronghuo last time. Among the crowd, several 14th level strong men such as the Ten-Horned Dragon Primordial Saint Lord were a little surprised. However, as time passed, after Chen Ronghuo and the blood demon fought for 3 days, the group of people became a little bored. Even the blood demon, one of the masters of the battle, was annoyed. Chen Ronghuo, what do you want to do? The blood demon couldn't help shouting. After fighting for such a long time, it was obvious that Chen Ronghuo, with the help of his subordinates, could match him in strength, but he couldn't kill him at all. And because he was trapped outside by the formation, he couldn't escape. In this case, Chen Ronghuo entangled with him for such a long time, which really made him angry. What? Of course, to kill you. After hearing the blood demon's question, Chen Ronghuo felt that he had almost touched out 1/3 of the attributes in the blood demon's body, and raised his head slightly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 507. I admit that you are very strong, but do you think you can kill me like this? After several days of fierce fighting, the initial impetuousness in the blood demon's heart has disappeared, and he is ready to talk to Chen Ronghuo calmly. Chen Ronghuo's men killed 2 of his blood shadow clones, so he was naturally angry and wanted revenge. But after seeing Chen Ronghuo's strength, he knew that revenge would be impossible. At least now, he can't do it. Why not? Chen Rong raised his head slightly, but looked through the formation into the distance. 2 figures rushed towards them from a distance. After approaching their battlefield, their light disappeared and turned into 2 figures soaring into the sky. Ghost Mother, level 13. Body, Ancient Ghost Locust Tree. Identity, NPC. Resurrection Stone, available ×1. Kung Fu Secrets, secret techniques for communicating with ghosts and gods, ghosts, ghost contracts. Demon Wolf Emperor, level 13. Ontology, Ancient Blood Moon Demonic Wolf. Identity, NPC. Resurrection Stone, available ×1. Secret Skills, Moon Wolf God Technique, Wolf King Domain, Wolf God Employment, Wolf King Roar. In an instant, Chen Ronghuo identified the attributes of the two people who came over. In fact, if Chen Ronghuo wanted to kill the blood demon, he didn't have to wait until now. He has the power of his left hand. When he finds 1/5 of the blood demon's attributes, he can kill the blood demon on the spot with all his strength. And the reason why he hasn't killed the blood demon yet is because he is waiting. Waiting for the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor. Or perhaps they are waiting for others who dare to come to rescue the blood demon. Because even if Chen Ronghuo killed the blood demon this time, coupled with the two blood shadow clones of the blood demon, he might not be able to break through from the 12th level to the 13th level in one fell swoop. And after he kills the blood demon, the world of the gods will be shaken. By then, who else will come to Beihai to cause trouble? No one came to his North Sea to cause trouble. If he went to other places to hunt these ancient evil things, he would probably put everyone in danger, causing these ancient evil things to unite and target him together. Now Chen Ronghuo still doesn't have the confidence to face so many powerful people on his own. Lord Chen, after the Ghost Mother arrived, she spoke quietly, like a cool ghost wind blowing by. This time the blood demon separated two blood shadow clones. It was his fault to come to your territory to kill your subjects. But your men have killed two of his blood shadow clones before, and now they have besieged him for such a long time. I wonder if you can give us a face. How about just letting this matter go? Give you some face. A strange smile appeared on Chen Ronghuo's face. He did not answer, but suddenly asked, "Have you eaten enough before you come? Are you full?" What's the meaning? The Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor both frowned. When you're full, it's time to hit the road. Chen Ronghuo's eyes suddenly flashed with astonishing brilliance, and he raised his voice and said, "What happens outside the North Sea has nothing to do with me, but above the North Sea, it is up to me. Who do you think you are to interfere with my affairs?" His words were not meant for the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor, but for the other ancient evil beings who were paying attention to this battle. Chen Ronghuo, the Ghost Mother wearing a black cloak, raised her head. Under the cloak that covered her face, a pair of deep and ruthless eyes were revealed. She smiled sinisterly and said, "We admit that you are very strong, but now you have to in the battle with the Blood Demon. Do you believe that if I join forces with the Blood Wolf Emperor, it won't take long to kill all of your men?" As she spoke, she turned her head and set her sights on Huang Xiaoshan, Yu Dupang, and the three brothers Chang Sun Ping in the distance. Huang Xiaoshan's 5 people, together, can compete with the 13th level cultivator. But the Ghost Mother and the Blood Wolf Emperor were 2 13th level cultivators. If they went all out, Huang Xiaoshan and the 5 of them would definitely be killed to pieces, and they were no match for them. After the Ghost Mother finished speaking, she turned her head and looked at Chen Ronghuo, with a hint of coercion, as if she would take action if Chen Ronghuo didn't release the blood demon. Call. At this moment, a large dark shadow suddenly appeared under the wide sea surface. When the shadow emerged, the temperature of the entire sea area dropped by dozens of degrees. It seems as if the scorching summer has suddenly come to the coldest month of winter. At the same time, you can vaguely see a fish-faced girl in a black skirt emerging from the center of the shadow. The girl waved her hand, and the huge shadow with her as the center began to spin rapidly, turning into a huge vortex, and issued an amazing suction force, sweeping towards the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor. "Who are you?" For a moment, both the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor were shocked. The strength displayed by this fish-faced girl was no weaker than theirs, and she was actually a 13th level cultivator. "I'm just a spiritual pet under the Master's seed." The fish-faced girl's voice sounded faintly, but when the voice was heard by the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor, it was like thunder, causing both of them to change their expressions. A spiritual pet of Chen Ronghuo. When Chen Ronghuo was fighting the blood demon, he actually hid his strength. Call out. From the horizon in the distance, another extremely black thread suddenly shot out. The speed of the thread was as fast as lightning, and it rushed hundreds of meters in front of them in the blink of an eye. Haizi! The Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf Emperor exclaimed at the same time. No, you are not Haizi, you are the inheritor of Haizi. Whoosh whoosh. Amid the two people's exclamations, the black silk thread suddenly changed and instantly split into 300 smaller silk threads, flashing in the void, piercing or binding the two people. Zhangji inherited the power of the ancient black silk. The ancient black silk is also one of the ancient evil things, and it is also an ancient evil thing of the same level as the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf King. It was called the Black Evil in the ancient times. But the Black Evil had fallen long ago. You are also Chen Ronghuo's subordinate. Facing the attack of the Devil Mermaid and Zhangji, the faces of the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf King were extremely ugly. Originally, they were full of confidence and thought they could easily kill Huang Xiaoshan, Yu Dupang, and others. But after the Devil Mermaid and Zhangji, two strong men of the same level as them, appeared, they immediately knew that this time they were in trouble. Chen Ronghuo actually hid such a strong strength at this time. If they don't handle it well this time, even the two of them may be trapped here. Chen Ronghuo, suddenly, the Demon Wolf King shouted, "You have planned this long ago, right? You are waiting for us to come over, you just want to kill us. Your goal should not only be us, but all the people we just broke the seal with, right? A 13th level cultivator is comparable to a peak god." The Demon Wolf King shouted loudly, and with deliberate actions, the sound immediately spread throughout the entire God's continent. In an instant, the ancient evil creatures that had just broken the seal on the God's continent all had thoughts. They all knew that the Demon Wolf King was trying to sow discord between Chen Ronghuo and them, but Chen Ronghuo's actions made them think too much. Otherwise, if Chen Ronghuo had such strength, why didn't he show it early, but had to wait for the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf King to show up? Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Dupang. Chapter 508. Chen Ronghuo turned his head and glanced at the Demon Wolf King. He naturally knew the purpose of the Demon Wolf King's shout, but he didn't care. "You're right." Chen Ronghuo spoke. Boom. When he spoke, his left hand was like the five-finger mountain, hitting the blood demon trapped in the formation set up by the five ancestors. At the same time, his right hand followed closely. With a loud bang, the blood demon, as usual, stretched out his hand to intercept Chen Ronghuo's palm. "I just want to kill all of you." Chen Ronghuo continued to speak. His voice was very faint, but like the Demon Wolf King, he also spread his voice throughout the God's continent. But when he finished speaking, the blood demon, who had just fought with him, suddenly changed his face. He found that when Chen Ronghuo hit him with this palm, his original power, soul power, and other powers, and even his understanding of the law of blood, all decreased by more than 1/3. His strength dropped by 1/3 in all directions, which made him weaker than even a 13th level cultivator. "What can you do?" Chen Ronghuo raised his head, and his voice surged in all directions like a wave. At this moment, his hands had already landed on the shoulders of the blood demon whose strength had greatly dropped. Black and red flashed on his hands. He shook his arms, and his hands, like tiger claws, suddenly exerted force. Boom! The blood demon, whose strength was comparable to that of a half-step pillar god, was forcibly torn apart by Chen Ronghuo in an instant. In an instant, blood fell. At this moment, the entire world of gods began to rain blood, as if to commemorate the death of the blood demon. Buzz! Suddenly, just as the blood demon died, a black magic stargate suddenly opened above Chen Ronghuo. After the black magic stargate opened, a strange force immediately swept out from it and fell on the body of the blood demon. Blood demon corpse. Status: transformed and dissolved by the light of the gods. NPC attribute add 1, NPC attribute add 1. Chen Ronghuo narrowed his eyes, looking at the blood demon's corpse whose NPC attributes were gradually increasing under the transformation of the light of the gods, and his mind moved slightly. At this time, as the NPC attributes in the blood demon's corpse increased rapidly, his corpse actually began to change from real to virtual, and turned into a phantom in front of Chen Ronghuo. Are you going to save him? Chen Ronghuo frowned, but did not make a move. The blood demon's corpse, which had turned into a phantom, disappeared from his sight in just a moment. I have found out more than 1/3 of his attributes. If you can save him, I wonder if you can restore his original strength. Chen Ronghuo snorted inwardly. But now, it is not time for him to confront the gods head-on. At the same time, the death of the blood demon also shook the entire world of the gods. Blood demon, one of the few 14th level strongmen in the world of gods, was killed by Chen Ronghuo by unknown means. No one was not shocked. No one expected that blood demon, who had fought with Chen Ronghuo before, was killed by Chen Ronghuo in an instant. No one even knew what method Chen Ronghuo used to kill him. All this happened too fast. As soon as blood demon died, Chen Ronghuo set his sights on the two powerful ancient evil creatures, Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King, who were fighting with Zhangji and the Devil Mermaid. Lord Chen, seeing Chen Ronghuo's eyes, Ghost Mother immediately said in a hurry, "This time, it was me and Demon Wolf King who offended Lord Chen. We promise that we will never set foot in the North Sea without your permission in the future. If Lord Chen can give us a way out, we can also agree to one condition of Lord Chen." She seemed extremely strong before, but with the death of Blood Demon, she suddenly admitted her weakness. Chen Ronghuo did not answer, but just waved his hand. As he waved his hand, the 5 ancestors of the 5-sex alliance, as well as Huang Xiaoshan, Yu Dupang, and others, immediately turned into streams of light and rushed towards the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf King. One of the purposes of his fighting with the Blood Demon for such a long time this time was to lure the Ghost Mother and others to kill them. Now that he has succeeded, how could he show mercy? Chen Ronghuo watched the battle in the distance while feeling the rolling breath of the law that was fed back to him from heaven and earth after the Blood Demon was killed by him. He was in a good mood. Next, as long as the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf King died, the total breadth of the law of the calamity he obtained would be quite considerable. Then he would definitely be able to do something again. Seal. Thinking of this in his heart, Chen Ronghuo suddenly secretly activated the power of the ancient book after the battle in the distance started for a while, and at the same time sealed the Ghost Mother and the Demon Wolf King. Although he had shown great strength before and temporarily shocked those ancient evil things, if the battle was delayed for too long, there might be accidents. Boom! As Chen Ronghuo activated the power of the ancient book, Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King in the distant battlefield both paused slightly at the critical moment of the battle. This pause cost them their lives. The 300 black silk threads created by Zhangji condensed into several strands, like rope spears, and pierced through the chests of Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King before they were prepared. The power of the ancient book was extremely powerful. Even though Chen Ronghuo's cultivation was inferior to that of Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King, activating the ancient book could still pose a fatal threat to them. Of course, this is also related to the fact that Chen Ronghuo's subordinates are strong and can seize opportunities. Otherwise, if it were a weaker cultivator, he might not be able to seize the moment when the power of Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King was sealed and stagnant. After the death of Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King, a large amount of breath of the law of calamity immediately came back to Chen Ronghuo between heaven and earth. Chen Ronghuo stood quietly in the void, looking at the distance, and saw that after the death of Ghost Mother and Demon Wolf King, their bodies began to turn from real to virtual, gradually turning into phantoms and disappearing in front of him. However, it seems that because Chen Ronghuo did not take the NPC attributes from the bodies of the two, after the two died, the gate of the Black Demon Star did not open to replenish the NPC attributes for the two. Chen Ronghuo was thoughtful. Then he stood in the void, looked around, as if he could feel the gazes of countless powerful people, raised his head slightly, and repeated again, "I don't care about other places, but I will guard the North Sea. If anyone wants to come to me, they can. But if you come to me, you must abide by the rules I set. Otherwise, these three will end up like this." Chen Ronghuo pointed to the place where the bodies of the three blood demons disappeared, revealing his threat. When his voice fell, the entire world of gods was silent. Swoosh! Chen Ronghuo turned and flew towards the Aurora King Island. While flying, he quickly refined the breath of the law of calamity in his body. Zhangji, the devil mermaid, the five ancestors, and others followed closely beside him, releasing their momentum without scruples, vast and boundless. The gods did not come out. After this battle, Chen Ronghuo had obviously become one of the most powerful and strongest practitioners in the world of gods today. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 509. After Chen Ronghuo returned to the Aurora King Island, he had a brief exchange with Gong Yangtian and sent him away. Then he returned to the crab world and began to retreat, concentrating on refining the breath of the law of catastrophe he had obtained this time. When Chen Ronghuo was in retreat, the shock caused by Chen Ronghuo's previous battle did not subside for several days. After seeing Chen Ronghuo's strength, especially the scene where Chen Ronghuo tore the blood demon, none of the ancient evil creatures that had just broken the seal dared to come to the North Sea to make trouble again. The blood demon also has another name, called the ancestor of all blood. It is the ancestor of blood demons. The shock caused by his death can almost be said to be remembered forever by the entire world of gods. After this battle, even the evil creatures of the 14th level with the blood demon, the ancient corpse king, the ancestor of all ghosts, and the bone lord, were all very afraid of Chen Ronghuo. A strong man who has reached the 14th level has not died for a long time. Chen Ronghuo can kill the blood demon, which means Chen Ronghuo can also kill them. The changes in the world of gods in recent days have also made the low-level practitioners in the world of gods start to ask around what happened in the world of gods. In this case, Chen Ronghuo's name gradually entered the ears of those low-level practitioners. However, none of these low-level practitioners dared to call Chen Ronghuo's name, and all called him the Lord of the North Sea or the God of River Crabs. It was not until a few days later that some ancient evil creatures found that Chen Ronghuo really fulfilled his promise and didn't care about things outside the North Sea, and they were relieved. Then some ancient evil creatures began to become active again, and began to hunt lives in the central continent and some other places to replenish the power of the origin. But no one knew that during these few days, Zhu Daipen, Li Haishui, Wu Piaoun, Chang Sun Yi, Chang Sun Gengjiang, Gao Yan, Doom Black Tiger, Little White Dragon, Colorful Spirit Butterfly, Colorful Spirit Tree, Ho San, Meng Tian, and two Sea and Sky Divine Birds, all of whom were under Chen Ronghuo, had come out of retreat. And after Zhu Daipen and others came out of retreat, their cultivation had all reached the 13th level. That's not all. What made Chen Ronghuo most happy was that many of his men had mastered the art of combined attack while cultivating under the origin mother tree. For example, Zhu Daipen and Li Haishui could fight against a 14th level cultivator together. Ho San, who cultivated the alien ape magic, and at the same time cultivated the blood magic law and the law of war, could also fight against a 14th level cultivator together with Meng Tian, who wielded the divine spear of war. The Black Tiger of Doom and the Little White Dragon join forces, the Colorful Spirit Butterfly cooperates with the Colorful Spirit Tree, and the two Sea and Sky Divine Birds join forces, and they can all reach the level of a 14th level strongman. Among them, the Colorful Spirit Butterfly is a little special. It has a symbiotic relationship with the colorful spirit tree. The colorful spirit tree has no spiritual intelligence, and when it was in front of the origin mother tree, it did not occupy the quota of the origin mother tree, but its strength has improved very quickly, and now it is already a 13th level special divine tree. In addition, after many years of cultivation, Zhang Ji didn't know how he managed to capture Chang Sun Yi. When the two of them joined forces, they could also fight against ordinary 14th level practitioners. After Zhu Daipen and others came out of retreat, the origin mother tree became silent again, and no one walked out one after another. However, Chen Ronghuo was not dissatisfied with this. Huang Lin, Wang Chao, Zhenkinzan, Dai Hexi, Fi Imao, Chang Sun Zhengzin, and Mo Liking have not yet walked out from under the origin mother tree, which means that when they walk out, they are likely to reach the 14th level and become one of the strongest people in the world of gods. On this day, Chen Ronghuo let out a long breath in the secret room, shook his arm, and stood up from the cushion. In a few days, he has completely refined the breadth of the law of catastrophe that he had obtained before, and stabilized the cultivation level of reaching the 13th level. Begin to act. After coming out of retreat, Chen Ronghuo immediately gave an order. As he issued this order, the strong men who had just come out of retreat quietly left the North Sea. Following the route pointed out by Chen Ronghuo, they rushed to the central continent. Woo woo. A woman in white with an illusory figure fell from the sky and came to the top of a territory. After she fell, the whole territory was immediately filled with gloomy winds. In broad daylight, endless black clouds appeared, covering the entire territory. At the same time, many ghosts fell into the territory like dumplings and began to slaughter the lives in the territory. The woman in white stood above the black cloud, her red lips slightly opened, and she absorbed the special breath emitted by the soul after the death of the life below into her mouth. She showed a satisfied look on her face, as if she was very satisfied with the territory she found this time. Bold ghost, dare to come to my territory and make trouble, today I will refine you into a pill, and let you become food for others. At this moment, accompanied by an old shout, a pill furnace burning with blazing flames suddenly flew from a distance. When the pill furnace flew over, it actually rolled out endless suction from it. Under the effect of this suction, the ghosts who were slaughtering the people in the territory were all swept into the pill furnace. At the same time, along with the large black cloud above, they also entered the alchemy furnace. No. The white-clothed female ghost above screamed with a look of horror on her face, but as she screamed, her body began to fly uncontrollably towards the alchemy furnace burning with fierce flames. Although it is an ancient evil creature, it is the lowest level of ancient evil creature. It is similar to the ancient Yinshui corpse that broke the seal at the beginning, and its cultivation is also at the 10th level. Although the cultivation of the 10th level is not bad, she has no power to resist the flying furnace. Whoosh, snap. As the furnace appeared above the territory, the white-clothed female ghost could no longer hold on, and turned into a black light and was swallowed into the furnace. After the white-clothed female ghost entered the furnace, the lid of the furnace closed and covered it. Then the flames outside the furnace moved, and suddenly restrained, and all were taken into the furnace, but faintly, a painful howl could be heard from the furnace. Snap! An old man wearing a white robe with a flame pattern appeared beside the furnace, slapped his hand, and put the furnace away. This old man in the long robe was Chang Sun Gengjiang. After years of cultivation under the origin mother tree, he has already reached the 13th level of cultivation, and with his special means, it can be said that he can easily deal with a 10th level female ghost. A 10th level female ghost should be able to refine a good 9-turn soul nourishing pill. Chang Sun Gengjiang muttered to himself, and then rushed to the next location. As for the miserable howling of the female ghost in the pill furnace, he seemed not to hear it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 510. In a large city in the southern part of the central continent, countless practitioners gathered together and stood on the city wall, some forming a formation, some standing alone, all ready for battle. In such a serious atmosphere, many people's bodies trembled slightly, obviously fearful. Standing on the city wall, looking around, I saw a giant snake with an ancient yellow body and wind and sand all over its body winding forward in the distance. This giant snake can only see its huge head like a mountain and half of its body. After that, nothing can be seen, and it is impossible to know how big it is. It swam from a distance, and the ground was flattened, like a flat road. The large area it passed through has become a raging desert. Even if it is far away, the stench from its open bloody mouth makes people feel nauseous. The Alaga sandstorm giant snake, a giant snake that caused many terrible disasters in ancient times. Its strength is extremely strong, and its cultivation level of the 12th level is comparable to that of a high-level god. Huang Xiaoshan, Yu Depeng, and the 5 ancestors of the 5-sex alliance are only comparable to it in terms of cultivation level. Even among the hundreds of ancient evil creatures that broke the seal this time, its strength can be ranked among the top. I haven't felt so happy for a long time. Alaga's eyes flashed with brilliance. If Chen Ronghuo hadn't torn the blood demon apart before, and killed the ghost mother and the demon wolf king, shocking it and making it dare not act rashly before the storm passed, it would have come out to hunt prey and restore its original power. I don't know where that guy came from. Not only is he powerful, but he also has so many powerful subordinates. Alaga's eyes showed envy. This time we have to agree to the conditions of the gods to be released from the evil god mountain. I don't know whether it is good or bad, and what will happen in the future. Exhaling a breath of poisonous gas, Alaga suddenly accelerated and rushed straight to the giant city in the distance. When approaching the giant city, the cultivators in the city immediately launched all the attacks they had accumulated for a long time. Boom! A huge explosion sounded, and countless attacks hit Alaga, but they were all blocked by the wind and sand outside his body, causing no harm to him. After Alaga endured such a blow, his huge head, which was as huge as a mountain, suddenly became dozens of times larger with a bang. The huge snake head that covered the sky and the earth hung above the city, revealing a hint of playfulness. The next moment, it opened its snake mouth, and infinite suction emerged from it, as if it wanted to swallow the giant city below, along with the life inside, as a whole. Evil obstacle. At this moment, a loud shout suddenly came from the city below, and then 2 people of the same height, but one as burly as a mountain and the other as thin as a bamboo, stood out from the city. This city is guarded by our 2 brothers. You dare to mess with our territory. If we don't kill you today, won't others think that we 2 brothers are easy to bully? While speaking, Zhu Deipen and Li Haishui both released their momentum at the same time. The huge momentum rushed up to the sky, like a flood sweeping everything. With a bang, the Alaga giant snake was knocked out. Boom boom boom. Then Zhu Deipen and Li Haishui did not hold back. They each raised their fists, gathered their strength, and punched the Alaga wind sand giant snake. Don't! The Alaga wind sand giant snake roared wildly, with a look of unwillingness on its face. It just randomly found a city to hunt. It even inquired about the details of the city before hunting. It knew that there was no strong man guarding it who surpassed itself. How could it encounter such a strong man now? But its unwilling roar only lasted for a moment. Under Zhu Deipen's final punch, it exploded with a bang. The strength of the 12th level ancient wind and sand giant snake is naturally not weak. But under the joint efforts of Zhu Deipen and Li Haishui, who are at the 13th level, it was good enough that it was not killed instantly. This was even because Zhu Deipen and Li Haishui did not use their full strength. Boom! After killing the Alaga Wind and Sand Giant Snake, Zhu Daipen and Li Haishui did not give up, but unfolded their body skills, and carried out a large sweep with their city as the center, killing 3 ancient evil creatures nearby in one breath before ending. Afterwards, Zhu Daipen spread his voice to all directions. We brothers don't care about other places, but whoever dares to come to my Guiyang city to make trouble, will end up like those few just now. The actions of the two shocked the entire world of gods. The immortal law, these two people just performed the immortal magic, could they be the immortal lord's newly recruited immortal guards? How is this possible? I saw with my own eyes the immortal lord being killed by the Taishi god lord. That time, the immortal lord was definitely dead. How could he still have immortal guards? Could it be the inheritor of the immortal lord? The two people who just took action are definitely immortal guards. They obviously have the 13th level of cultivation. If there is really an inheritor of the immortal lord, then the inheritor of the immortal lord must have the 14th level of cultivation. This city is called Guiyang City, right? We can't go here, and we can't go nearby. Speaking of which, Alaga is also unlucky. He actually ran into these two plague gods. Everyone was talking about it. They didn't expect that in the world of gods today, in addition to Chen Ronghuo, there are actually such strong people hidden. I am the Lord of the Lake, I am the King of the Sky, I am the Lord of the Earth. A white dragon flew out of the clouds, and in the chanting, it instantly killed an ancient Kun demon fish that was emitting cold air all over its body. Scream. Accompanied by the sound of a sword, a demon ape disguised as a kind bald man landed in a huge city, and wanted to swallow the entire huge city, but was killed by Chang Sun Yi's sword in the field. Roar. A black tiger glared, and the rolling light of doom fell on a huge bone bird, which immediately froze the bone bird, and a confused look appeared in its eyes. Boom. A long spear exuding infinite fighting spirit pierced through the void and killed an ancient 8-tailed evil fox with a crushing force. In just a few days, all the strong men in the world of gods began to be confused. What's going on? How can there be so many hidden strong men in the world of gods? The ancient evil creatures that had just broken the seal, even the powerful ones like the 10-horned dragon, all showed incredible expressions. Not to mention the quality, in just a few days, more than 1/3 of the ancient evil creatures that had just broken the seal died. The remaining ancient evil creatures began to feel insecure, and no one dared to act rashly. At this time, the powerful people in the world of gods all had a vague idea in their hearts, as if there was a huge black hand hidden in the world of gods. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 511. These people seem to have no connection, but they specifically targeted us. In just a few days, they killed more than 100 of us. How could it be such a coincidence? Several 13th level ancient evil creatures gathered together to discuss the emergence of a large number of hidden strongmen this time, sweeping away a large number of strongmen. A strong man with a black 8-legged demon centipede faintly emerging behind him said, "They are only killing strongmen of the 12th level and below now, but when these strongmen are killed, I'm afraid it will be our turn." "That's right," another strong man said, "we must not sit and wait for death now, otherwise it will be too late to wait any longer. This group of people is too rampant. Do they really think we have no one? I'm going to take action and teach them a lesson. Are you with me?" A pale man with a faint yin and heat aura suddenly spoke. As he spoke, the eyes of the others lit up, and one asked, "Is this what the Corpse King meant?" The Corpse King refers to one of the strongest among the ancient evil creatures, the king of 10,000 corpses. The pale-faced man is also a strong man who practices the law of corpses, but he also practices the law of fire. He is a 13-level strong man, and his body is an ancient boiling water corpse. As the king of all corpses, most of the other practitioners who practice the law of corpses have some connection with the Corpse King. The Corpse King is indeed dissatisfied with this group of people, and said that if there is an accident, he will help. Okay. It is related to our interests at this time, and there is the Corpse King as a guarantor, so we can give it a try. Many ancient evil creatures are not fools, they can't believe the Corpse King's words. But it would be different if the ancient boiling water corpse also took action. Because the ancient boiling water corpse has always had a close relationship with the Corpse King. It's here. I followed the two white birds who practiced the law of space among them before, and found that they never came out after they fell into this mountain. After making a decision, a group of ancient evil creatures immediately took action and came to a huge mountain range surrounded by white mist on the central continent. It should start. In the crab world, when a group of ancient evil creatures arrived at a huge mountain called Xuanhuan mountain range in the central continent, Chen Ronghuo raised his head in seclusion and muttered to himself. In the past few days, Zhu Daipen and others have been hunting ancient evil creatures outside, so he can refine the breath of the law of calamity continuously, so he has been practicing in his seclusion chamber. However, compared with the breath of the law of calamity he obtained in the past few days, the next one is the big one. After reaching the 13th level of cultivation, his control over the ancient book is stronger, not to say that it is completely missed, but not much less. So this time a large number of ancient evil creatures rushed to Xuanhuan mountain range, which was deliberately guided by him. Even now, he knows most of the secrets of the world of gods. Come out. An ancient evil creature transformed into a human form and wearing a cloak suddenly transformed into a pitch-black crow, soaring over the Xuanhuan mountains and casting endless black light below, trying to force out the mysterious strong man hiding in the Xuanhuan mountains. Other ancient evil creatures followed closely behind, casting their eyes into the distance, ready to kill the mysterious strong man in the mountains as soon as he came out. Give the manipulator who may be hiding in the dark a profound lesson. Boom. Suddenly, a bloody fist was hit from below, carrying the meaning of the two laws of immortality, and chopped at the black crow with a bang, which was extremely domineering. Zhu Daipen walked out of the Xuanhuan mountains. Seeing Zhu Daipen, all the ancient evil creatures shrank their pupils. According to the information they received, the strong men hidden in this mountain are obviously two divine birds practicing the law of space. Now Zhu Daipen walked out of the mountains, which obviously proved their previous guess that the many mysterious strong men who appeared in the past few days might be together. At this time, the fog in the Xuanhuan mountains gradually dissipated. When the fog dissipated, Li Haishui also followed Zhu Daipen out. Then came the two sea and sky birds, followed by Ho San and Meng Tian, and then Chang Sun Gengjiang, who has come to the present with the way of Dan, and Gao Yan, who has come to the present with the way of Ki. Then came Chang Sun Yi and Wu Piaoun. Finally, the black tiger of misfortune and the little white dragon also walked out. In this way, among the 13-level strong men under Chen Ronghuo, except for Zhang Ji and the devil mermaid who came out at the beginning, only the colorful spirit butterfly did not come. Sure enough. After seeing Zhu Daipen and others walk out one after another, the faces of all the ancient evil creatures became serious. They really did not guess wrong. These mysterious strong men who appeared in the past few days were really together, and there was really a huge behind-the-scenes mastermind who was plotting against them. They were all very lucky, and felt that these people gathered together, obviously discussing how to deal with them. If they hadn't come this time, they would probably be the next to be robbed. Kill. Destroy them. The ancient evil creatures roared. Although Zhu Daipen and his men were powerful, there were dozens of them who came this time, and they were also elites among the many ancient evil creatures, and the number of ancient evil creatures of the 13th level was no less than that of Zhu Daipen and his men. While whistling, a group of ancient evil creatures rushed straight to Zhu Daipen and his men and killed them without any hesitation. They all thought that they and their men came here unexpectedly this time, and they would definitely be able to take down Zhu Daipen and his men in one fell swoop. As for the 14th level strongmen that the enemy might hide, aren't there strongmen such as the Corpse King standing behind them? Boom. Zhu Daipen and Li Haishui attacked at the same time, this time without reservation. When the two fists hit, they entangled with each other, shaped like two blood-colored dragon heads, exuding a mighty divine power, and rushed straight to a group of ancient evil creatures. Clang clang. The two sea and sky divine birds chirped, and they turned into a phantom each other, and then merged into one, turning into a white bird with 2 heads, 4 wings and 4 claws. After they merged, the momentum they exuded reached the 14th level. Boom! Meng Tian's body shook, and it actually merged with the war god spear in his hand, and the whole thing turned into a divine spear. Ho San took a step forward, grabbed the divine spear that Meng Tian had transformed into in his hand, and stabbed it out with a bang. This spear stabbed out, and the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The two of them worked together and reached the level of the 14th level. Roar! Then the dragon roar and tiger roar sounded at the same time. The little white dragon and the black tiger of doom joined forces, and their eyes shot out black and white beams of light. The two beams of light merged together and fell on the ancient evil creature and Zhu Daipen and others respectively. However, after the beams fell on everyone, the reactions were different. Falling on Zhu Daipen and others, it naturally blessed luck, and falling on the ancient evil creature, it added doom. The 8 strong men attacked, and it was as if 4 14th level strong men attacked. At the same time, Gao Yan, Wu Piaoun, Chang Sunyi, and Chang Sun Gengjiang also launched an attack together. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 512. Ho San, Meng Tian, and others had fought in the North Sea before, but they were too weak at that time, and they were not comparable to now. In addition, they deliberately hid themselves, so no one associated them with Chen Ronghuo. Moreover, Chen Ronghuo's previous strength and his own power were already amazing enough. Who could have thought that he had so many powerful subordinates? No one even thought about it. A 14th level cultivator is equivalent to a half-step pillar god in terms of strength. Zhu Daipen and others showed their strength thoroughly, and immediately revealed their sinister murderous intent, which made the ancient evil creatures that came from afar all pale in shock. Boom! Zhu Daipen and more than a dozen people rushed into dozens of ancient evil creatures, and immediately seemed to be a group of tigers and wolves, rushing into a flock of sheep. The fusion beams emitted by the little white dragon and the doomed black tiger fell on the enemy, immediately causing the enemy's power to stagnate, the soul to malfunction, and the body seemed to become old and decayed in an instant, with many malfunctions. But when this power falls on one's own people, it is just the opposite. Luck and bad luck are two sides of the same coin of the law of luck. If you are lucky, the enemy will naturally be unlucky. If the enemy is unlucky, it is equivalent to being lucky. That is to say, these ancient evil creatures are all powerful. If they are replaced by some weaker ones, they will die instantly when bad luck comes. Boom! The huge vibration sound is endless. At the same time, the sea and sky bird, which has merged into 4 wings, 4 claws and 2 heads, also vibrates its wings, setting off a monstrous space storm. Countless space blades swept across a large area of the void, sweeping all the ancient evil creatures that rushed in. Under this large-scale attack, and with the assistance of the little white dragon and the black tiger of bad luck, the 13th level ancient evil creatures are better, but those of the 12th level and below are suddenly in a difficult situation. Boom! Boom! At the same time, Zhu Daipen and Li Haishui cooperated, and Ho San and Meng Tian cooperated, like 2 sharp knives, fiercely piercing the core of the enemy. In the fierce roar, blood fell from the void like rain, and the ancient evil creatures, one by one, died on the spot under the bombardment of the crowd. The exploded body fell from the void in unknown parts. Some flesh and bones, with various laws of power remaining, fell to the ground, either forming a Jedi or a treasure land, which can breed all kinds of genius treasures in the future. Although the ancient evil creatures are not weak in strength, they are not good at cooperation after all. Fighting alone, they soon fell into a disadvantage. Under the ambush of Chen Ronghuo's men, the ancient evil creatures fell into the void, with a look of horror, and died. Damn it, how could they be so strong? We were fooled. This must be the ambush site they prepared long ago. A group of ancient evil creatures roared wildly and wanted to escape, but Zhu Deipen and others were fully armed and would kill anyone who dared to escape first, which made all the ancient evil creatures look desperate. In a hidden space crack in the distance, 3 strong men watched the battle from afar. When they saw Zhu Deipen and others fully display their strength, killing a group of ancient evil creatures like wolves, the 3 strong men hidden in the space crack all changed their faces. These 3 strong men were the Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and Bone Saint, 3 14th level strong men. This action was not planned by the Corpse King alone, but by the 3 strong men together. The Black Hand hidden behind the scenes has attacked a large number of these ancient evil creatures in the past few days, which made the 3 of them feel threatened, so they planned this action. But now, after seeing Zhu Deipen and others showing their strength, they all showed hesitation on their faces, and they didn't dare to take action for a while. How could it be? They stared at Zhu Deipen and Li Haishui, Ho San, and Meng Tian, the 2 sea and sky birds, and the little white dragon and the black tiger of misfortune on the battlefield, and their eyes were full of unbelievable colors. 2 13th level strongmen can fight against 14th level strongmen together. This situation has not been unprecedented in the world of gods in the past. Although this situation has occurred, it is so rare that it is outrageous. It has not occurred many times since ancient times. But now, they looked at the battlefield in the distance, and looked at Zhu Deipen and other strong men who were crisscrossing the battlefield, and they were all awed. Those 2 are definitely the undead guards. Even if they are not the undead guards of the undead demon lord, they must be the guards of the undead demon lord's successor. The Corpse King spoke in a deep voice, with worry in his tone. They can almost fight me together, which means that the undead demon lord who has not yet taken action must be no weaker than us. The Ghost Ancestor and the Bone Saint also understood the Corpse King's analysis. At the same time, they understood the Corpse King's meaning even more. That is, the subordinates of the mastermind who calculated these ancient evil creatures are so strong, so how strong will the mastermind be? There must be an undead demon lord. But is the undead demon lord really the mastermind? Will the undead demon lord also be a subordinate of the mastermind, or is the undead demon lord just one of the masterminds? And what is the purpose of the real mastermind? Is it the ancient evil creatures in the distant battlefield, or the 3 of them? One thought after another came into the minds of the 3 people, making them feel as if they were being watched by someone. This time, they were unsealed by the gods and broke out of the evil mountain. All of them felt high-spirited, thinking that after coming out, they would show off their power and let the world of gods return to the way they ruled it in the past. But they did not expect that everything would change in just a few days. At this time, they were no longer hunters, but prey. When one thought after another flashed through their minds, they looked at the ancient evil creatures who were killed in pieces by Zhu Deipen and others in the distant battlefield, and they suddenly felt timid and did not dare to attack again. Where is the Corpse King? Where is the Corpse King? Why hasn't he taken action yet? At the same time, after seeing the unmatched strength of Zhu Deipen and others, the remaining ancient evil creatures in the battlefield all set their eyes on the ancient boiling water corpse that proposed this action at the beginning. But the ancient boiling water corpse was already in despair. According to the agreement, it was time for the Corpse King to take action. If the Corpse King didn't take action, it was obviously an accident. But they didn't know that the root cause of this accident was that the Corpse King they thought they relied on was frightened and didn't dare to take action. Damn it! We've been abandoned. The remaining ancient evil creatures all showed madness in their eyes. Waste. At the same time, in the core of the black demon star in another space above the sky, a faint roar was heard from a peerless formation. However, how can there be so many strong people in our world? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 513. Puzzled. All the gods who have set up a peerless formation at the core of the black demon star in the alien space are puzzled. They don't know when so many people with such strength appeared in the world of gods. Not only is he strong, but he is also incredibly strong. Even to the gods, Zhu Deipen and Li Haishui, Ho San and Meng Tian, two sea and sky divine birds, the little white dragon and the doomed black tiger who can bring out the strength of the 14th level cultivators when they join forces are all considered extremely powerful. A 14th level cultivator is comparable to a half-step pillar god. Among the gods, there are only 4 pillar god level experts, even including the newly promoted golden pillar god. There are more half-step pillar gods, but even counting those half-step pillar gods who rarely take action and are very low-key in the world of gods, there are only about 20 at most. So, how could they not be shocked when Zhu Deipen and others showed such strength? It seems that it is impossible for us to get rid of the Corpse King's trash for us, and it is even more difficult to turn them into our puppets. Do you have any good ideas? A voice sounded from the ears of many gods, and there seemed to be a faint flicker of light, turning into a god of light, standing in front of the gods. The owner of this voice is the god of the pillar of light. All the gods were slightly moved. Their time is running out. All life within the world of the gods must be transformed into puppets that are semi-controlled by them before the planned start officially begins. If not, then the lives that are beyond their control must be removed using all possible means. However, they can only rely on other forces. Therefore, at this time, they have to maintain the formation, and in addition, all the gods have signed a contract with their own life marks in advance, and no one can leave here without authorization. The Lord of Darkness has regained his strength, it's time to release them. A faint voice sounded, as if it was a tall and majestic god in the dark night, controlling the underworld. The Lord of Darkness. The voice of the light pillar god suddenly hesitated. Originally, they did not plan to use the power of the Lord of Darkness at this time. Because the Lord of Darkness is too powerful, if you are not careful, there will be backlash. This is all we can do now, otherwise when the time comes, if there are still people in the world of gods who have not been transformed into our puppets, then our plan. In that case, then withdraw the original power of the black demon star from the demon realm and release the Lord of the Dark Demon. The light pillar god finally made a decision. The demon world refers to the place where demons are sealed. It's just that during this period, after they poured a large amount of the original power of the black demon star into the demon sealing land, they felt that the name of the demon sealing land was not good, so they casually changed it to the demon realm. Pity. Chen Ronghuo opened his eyes slightly in his secret room in the Hexian world. His eyes seemed to be able to see the battle in the Xuanhuan mountains through the endless void. At this time, the battle in the Xuanhuan mountains was almost over. Although there were dozens of ancient evil beings surrounding Zhu Deipen and others, including more than a dozen 13th level ancient evil beings, after Zhu Deipen and others showed their incomparable strength, these ancient evil beings, it was like a centipede that had lived for a long time and grown into a length of more than 10 centimeters, but was vulnerable to several huge roosters. Under the strong attack by Zhu Deipen and others, the blood of ancient evil creatures spilled into the sky, fell to the ground, and died. Of course, when they died, they also contributed a lot of breath of the law of calamity to Chen Ronghuo. Chen Ronghuo's eyes flashed in the secret room, as if he could see the breath of the law of rolling calamity rushing towards him under the feedback of the power of heaven and earth. But he still felt sorry for this. Because the Corpse King and others did not take action. After killing the blood demon last time and getting the benefits, he actually wanted to kill another 14th level ancient evil creature. It's just that the Corpse King and Ghost Ancestors didn't give him this chance. But it's not bad. Dozens of 11th level and 12th level ancient evil objects, as well as 7 or 8 13th level ancient evil objects. Chen Ronghuo muttered, and after feeling a little regretful, he felt a sense of satisfaction in his heart. Now Zhu Deipen and others alone have killed so many powerful men and obtained so many breaths of the law of calamity for him. What will happen when Huanglin dynasty and others come out of seclusion? I don't know if I can rush to the 14th level in one fell swoop this time. Chen Ronghuo felt the breath of the law of tribulation that was still coming to him continuously, and immediately started refining without wasting his energy on the deduction. He couldn't do it this time. He believed that he would be able to do it in a short time. Now he has full confidence in himself. However, the 14th level. A thought emerged in Chen Ronghuo's heart. Whether it is a cultivator in the world of gods or a cultivator who came from the Black Demon Star with the Lord of the Dark Demon, there are two ways to go. Of these two roads, one is the way of the gods, and the other is the way of the ancient ladder, which is the path that Chen Ronghuo is taking now. The way of the gods is very strong, but it has many limitations. In addition, the world of the gods is gradually decaying, and it is not suitable for walking at all. Therefore, there is only one path for Chen Ronghuo to take, and that is the ladder path. The so-called ladder road means climbing up step by step. This road seems bright, but Chen Ronghuo, who has calculated through ancient books, knows that in the world of gods, even including the strong people who take the ladder road of the Black Demon Star, they can only reach the 14th step at most. It is difficult to climb up the ladder. According to some strong people, there is a 15th step above the 14th step. But from ancient times to the present, no one has reached that step. At the same time, that step is also called the ladder of eternity. Everyone believes that once they can reach the 15th step, they can truly be immortal and don't have to worry about the destruction of the world. Of course, even after reaching the 15th step, the cultivator cannot be eternal, but at least in terms of strength, they will not be weaker than the pillar god level strong men. It is conceivable that once a 15th level cultivator who is not weaker than the pillar god level strong men who take the path of the gods appears in the world of gods, what kind of situation will it be? That is why the greatest wish of the 14th level strongmen in the world of gods, such as the 10-horned dragon, the Lord of the Sky Demon, the Lord of the Beginning, and the King of the Five Elements, is to try to break through to the 15th level. Of course, countless years have passed, and no one has been able to do it. It is unimaginably difficult to enter the eternal realm. Let's not worry about these, let's try to break through to the 14th level first. Chen Ronghuo took a deep breath and suppressed all the distracting thoughts in his mind. At the same time, a large amount of the breath of the law of catastrophe was also swallowed into his body by Chen Ronghuo like a whale swallowing water, and then he quickly refined it and transformed it into the kind of energy that can greatly enhance his understanding in a short period of time, allowing him to swim freely in the ocean of the power of the law. Landing 300 years in advance. Author, Xiaoji Depeng. Chapter 514. The sky above the Xuanhuan Mountains in the central continent was filled with blood. After Zhu Deipen and others killed all the ancient evil creatures, the entire Xuanhuan Mountains was still filled with a large amount of blazing blood left after the fierce battle. At the same time, due to the battle just now, the void nearby was also cracked, and due to the entanglement of various laws, those space cracks could not be healed for a long time. It is obvious that after this battle, this mountain range will probably become a desperate place. Boom. It seemed that the battle just now allowed several clever ancient evil creatures to escape in the end, which made Zhu Deipen not satisfied. He punched out loudly, leaving a huge fist mark on the giant mountain in the distance. That mountain peak was actually the treasure of an ancient evil creature, but its level was only 10th level. Zhu Deipen and others didn't care about it, so they had no intention of picking it up. At this time, in the world of gods, a group of powerful people were still paying attention to the movements of Zhu Deipen and others. After some people saw Zhu Deipen punching the mountain peak in a vented manner, their faces changed slightly, fearing that Zhu Deipen would divert his anger and go on a killing spree. But the good thing is that Zhu Deipen and others only stayed briefly in the Xuanhuan mountains before they all turned into escaping light and quickly left here. And through a teleportation formation, it was transferred to other places, and the traces were disappeared. It wasn't until Zhu Deipen and others left the Xuanhuan mountains that the three 14th level powerhouses, Corpse King, Ghost Ancestor, and Bone Saint, walked out of a space crack in the distance and arrived at the top of the Xuanhuan mountains. They looked at the miserable scene in the Xuanhuan mountains, and the corners of their mouths twitched slightly. Before planning this operation, they never thought that dozens of people on their side would be taken down like melons and vegetables. Even from beginning to end, they didn't know who was behind the scenes. You think, these people, could they be those guys like the 10-horned dragon, who have been secretly trained over the years, and are they going to give us a kick this time? Ghost Ancestor spoke gloomily, with a hint of unwillingness on his face. Have no idea. The Corpse King shook his head, but let's stop this matter. Now among our group, only the three of us can still do the job. But once the people hiding behind the scenes find our traces, only the three of us can do it. I'm afraid I'm not an opponent. The words "not an opponent" were something they never thought of when they just broke out of the evil god mountain. But after this battle, they had to admit it. If you lose, you have to admit it. After the Corpse King finished speaking, his eyes flashed and he stared at the Xuanhuan mountain range in front of him. After pondering for a moment, he actually said, "Next, I plan to hide here and use the evil god stone from the evil god mountain that I collected as a foundation. I transformed this place into my lair and named it Evil God Mountain. What do you think? Any ideas?" Hearing what the Corpse King said, Ghost Ancestor and Bone Sage looked at each other, sneered secretly, and then said almost at the same time, "What a coincidence, I also fell in love with this place. But we were trapped in Evil God Mountain for so many years, and now you plan to rename this place to Evil God Mountain. Aren't you afraid of bad luck? Aren't you afraid that you will be trapped here for countless years in the future?" The Xuanhuan mountain range was not a big mountain range originally, but after this battle, too many strong men died here. In addition, for some reason, when Zhu Deipen and others left, they even found the corpses of the dead strong men. It has not been put away, so this is really an excellent place for cultivation for powerful monsters like them who are either corpses or souls, or bones. Although their cultivation levels have all reached the 14th level, they, like the 10-horned dragon and other 14th level powerhouses, have the expectation of taking a step closer to reaching the 15th level. The pursuit of the eternal realm is also the obsession of almost all powerful practitioners. Humph. Unlucky. You have to be better than me, the Corpse King's eyes flashed, and I'm hiding here. With the residual corpse energy of the people who just died here, as long as I make some arrangements, it will be there. What will happen if the person behind the scenes is found? Then he looked at Ghost Ancestor and Bone Saint and said, "How about you two? Do you want to come with me? I think it's okay." The Ghost Ancestor and the Bone Sage looked at each other, and suddenly they both had some thoughts, and they wanted to have the Corpse King come together to arrange a good arrangement here. Where did these people come from? When the Corpse King and others quietly hid in the Xuanhuan mountain range and transformed the Xuanhuan mountain range with the large piles of evil god stones they had picked up from the evil god mountain before breaking the seal, and at the same time renamed the Xuanhuan mountain range into the evil god mountain range, the powerful cultivators in the world of gods started discussing crazily after this battle. The ancient evil creatures did not know where Zhu Deipen and others came from, the gods did not know where Zhu Deipen and others came from, and other cultivators in the world of gods also did not know. Therefore, The occurrence of this battle made everyone realize that in the world of gods, there really was such a huge behind-the-scenes mastermind, and they didn't know what they were planning. Therefore, even the 10-horned dragon, the king of 5 elements and other powerful figures fell silent. It seems that he doesn't want to be in the limelight at this time. Are these people also Chen Ronghuo's subordinates? No, definitely not. He already has so many powerful subordinates. How could so many powerful subordinates suddenly appear? In a secret place in the God's continent, Gong Yangtian muttered to himself after the battle. For some reason, after seeing Zhu Deipen and others show their strength one after another, he suddenly thought of Chen Ronghuo. He thought of Chen Ronghuo, who was becoming more and more mysterious and powerful in his eyes. Of course, he also knew that his idea was unlikely. After all, the strength shown by Zhu Deipen and others was a terrifying strength that could fight a 14th level strongman every 2 of them. And Chen Ronghuo's strength was only 14th level. In this way, how could Chen Ronghuo control so many powerful subordinates? Gong Yangtian took a deep breath and stopped thinking about it. The God's world fell into silence because of this battle. None of the remaining ancient evil creatures dared to come out to make trouble, even if their source power could not be replenished for a long time. They have been lacking the source power for so long, can't they hold on a little longer? Compared with death, they would rather suffer for a while longer. And time just passed in a flash. Boom. On this day, some time after the previous battle, the demon sealing land, which had been silent for a long time, suddenly boomed with a loud noise.